Hello everybody, I am the Linkzilla, and welcome back to brutal Doom64. Now, when we last left off, we just completed the secret levels, and we got our first demon key, so we made it through 5 levels, and, looks like I backed up a little bit to have the heads-up display, but that's better. As you can see, I friggin' got the experimental laser prototype, and, well, this is actually going to be a pretty short episode, because I've only got about, like, an hour before I have to go to work, so I pretty much can only have, like, about 45 minutes of playtime, so, I actually was debating on whether or not I was going to do this, but, I figured that, well, if I got time and I was bored enough. Now, basically speaking, like, I recognize that on these classic Doom games there really isn't that much to talk about, so effectively, and realistically speaking, the games will basically be pretty repetitive until I get to the levels that exit into the secret levels, but I don't think the next one is until episode 12, or map 12. And right now I'm on map 5, I think. Yeah. Ingenious. Oh, look at, they're fighting. And I am stuck. There we go. I gotta say, you guys, I'm basically, like, somewhat relieved to basically, like, how last night ended up working out, because I wanted to do several episodes of Doom64, but unfortunately, like, you guys remember that phone call that I had to take near the end of the last episode? Well, like, near the partway through. Why isn't my keyboard functioning? I'm literally so close to the damn receiver. So, that phone call that I got, you see, it's about my grandmother. Ever since my mom died, my grandmother's basically kind of been there to fill the emotional void, as it were. She's basically been my closest confidant all throughout my time in college, and basically, I used to call her all the time back before I had a car, and, well, even though I basically, like, don't talk to her as often as I used to, I still enjoy talking to her, and she basically is, like, one of the people that I can always, like, count on to basically give that kind of emotional support that I need. The problem is that the last time I talked to her was on the 15th, and, well, after that, I basically, like, wanted to talk to her, like, sometime soon, but she hadn't called me, I hadn't called her. I get a text on Monday from my sister saying that nobody has heard from her for the last 4 days, and now, basically, like, we're planning on sending her sisters over to check on her, and we were basically expecting the worst. So when I couldn't take that call last night, I basically realized that, oh god, what if she's got information about, yeah. So I took the call, basically, like, ooh, chain gun. And it turned out to not be as bad as I had thought. It definitely wasn't the situation was not as dire as we had all basically been assuming. You see, she was still alive when they found her, but she was in pretty bad shape. My grandmother, the last time I spoke with her, she basically said that it was possible that she was getting sick. She basically felt like she had some kind of cold coming on. My grandmother is very paranoid about any kind of sickness, but she's too stubborn to go to the hospital about it. So when they found her, she was in a rocking chair, and she hadn't moved at all for, like, the last several days. Basically, the condition that they found her in, she was extremely dehydrated, so they got her to the hospital, they got her on some fluids, and hopefully she should be fine. Basically, she should be stabilized, and, well, she's pretty strong for her old age, and she should be alright. So hopefully we'll find out sometime, like within a few days, if she'll be stable enough to talk. Hopefully we'll be able to get the phone number for her hospital room, so we'll be able to talk to her on the phone. And I'm just so relieved that she basically is alright. I was basically, like, worried for the last 2 days, ever since I was told that nobody had heard from her for the last few days. Like, sometime, like, I ultimately, since I basically, like, no longer, since I don't talk to her as often as I did, I still try to basically make a call at least once a week. Basically, kind of give her updates about how things are going. But, I mean, the fact that basically, like, if I had waited so long, just comes off as a bit worrisome. Because it makes me wonder, like, after all this time of basically getting used to talking to her and basically having used to having somebody to confide in, somebody to go for help that I know will basically, like, be more understanding than the other members of my family. I really wouldn't want to... I really just don't think I could handle that kind of emotional blow if she were to... Exactly. So, I'm just basically, like, just playing through the game at this point. Just basically, like, rambling, trying to find something to think about. Really wish that I could come up with something funny, but let's face it, Doom really isn't the kind of franchise where you can basically, like, make funny quips, you know? I mean, what am I supposed to basically be saying? Like, basically, like, should I basically be making Flex Seal jokes? Keyboard. Keyboard, please. Thank you. If you guys are wondering why I'm leaving those health power-ups back there, it's because I want to basically pick them up when I am at full health, because those things can take you past 100% health. This feels like some kind of trap. I feel exposed, like something could... Okay, I need to find a switch for that. Maybe over there? Is this one of the ones that you can't shoot for no reason? Awesome. Nope, not this way. Jeez, where is it? Oh, it's behind one of the doors. Durr. Oh, where'd you come from? Now look, you're asking for trouble. You can't just pop up in out of nowhere, completely unannounced. Seriously, the pop in is just friggin' rude. And the worst part about it is that yesterday was my sister's birthday, so basically I really was so afraid to find out, like, what the news was going to be, because what if we sent people over there to check on her, and we found the worst? So, that would basically, like, ruin my sister's birthday forever, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, is that I still miss my mom. It's still basically, like, hard knowing that she's no longer around, but I think that I just don't think about it as often as my sisters do. There are times where I think about it a lot, and it does become emotionally crippling, but sometimes I just get so busy with other things that when Mom's actual anniversary comes around, the day that she actually did leave us, it just sort of, well, it sort of passed me by without me even realizing that it had come. So, but basically, my sisters always basically observe that day, and it is pretty dark, and they always basically, like, check up on me to make sure that I'm doing okay, which I appreciate. And sometimes it does hit me. It hits me pretty hard. But I just know that they probably take it a lot harder than I do, so... Or maybe it's the complete opposite. Maybe they actually, like, aren't taking it as hard, but they observe the day because they want to respect Mom's memory. Although sometimes I think that, well, never mind. Jesus, there are a lot of knights, aren't there? You know, it's weird. I'm pretty sure that, like, on, like, the original the original Doom64 game for the Nintendo 64 is that the difficulty setting that I'm supposed to be on is something called I own Doom. So it's like, yeah, it's basically saying that, like, hey, I own Doom, and it's like, so I'm sure I can handle this, and it's like, no, you really can't. That's weird. That's one of the sprites from the classic games, but... Oh. So you can't shoot them this time, huh? Then what exactly is the point of you? This door doesn't open? Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. And just straight on to the chompers. Chompers? Dun, 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 dun. Well, screw that! That's a line from Galaxy Quest. You know what I find really weird about that movie is the fact that I actually saw that movie in theaters back when it came out, back in 1999, and literally in the theatrical version, and every version that's ever been released, it's clear that Sigourney Weaver is not saying screw. It's somehow like the movie itself censors what she's actually saying, and for some reason I find that just so hilarious. Awesome, the red key. And that's behind the yellow door. Oh, cacos. Any others? How do I get that? And I'm just wondering if that's meant to be a kind of meta-contextual narrative about the fact that the show that they all started literally has been brought to life. And so it's like, even to the point where they can't swear, because the show is rated PG. That's the blue key. How do I get it? Oh. That guy snuck up on me, started shooting, and didn't hit me. You fail. Like, I don't know what you were in life, but you certainly fail at the afterlife. Okay, something definitely comes down, and I have a feeling that it's that corner. Yes. Is it really safe to just leave all these rockets lying around? But what did that open? Well, always go where the new stuff is. Hello? Am I out of shotguns? Shotgun shells? Alright then, I'll use something bigger. They certainly provided plenty. Awesome. Soften them up and splatter them. This looks like the exit. Well, might as well leave. Okay. Shotgun. Well, that's that. 25 shots. Oh. I guess this is just a hidey hole. Choke point. Gotta have choke points. The blue key. But no. I got the Greenhorn. Ooh. Eh. chain gun is a lot like the chain saw. It rips and tears through a lot of meat, except with bullets. I'm surprised that there's not two of them. Did one teleport where I was standing and I telefragged him? And do I have only 3 health left? Oh god. What the... No, 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 no! Oh. You little bastards. Did I really not save until all the way back here? Screw that. Let's see. Yep, that ought to do it. Damn. Don't know why the UAC would downgrade their rocket launcher to where now it has to reload after every single rocket. Maybe this one's more powerful, but then again, I doubt that, considering that the rocket's basically going an arc now. Now, which way did I go? Which way did he go? Hey, it's open. Well, why was it open? Hold on a second, I'm getting a text. Oh. Well, I just got a text about my grandmother. Turns out that basically, well, a while ago she actually did have a stroke. I mean, basically like sometime last year. Basically, she claims that she slipped and fell on like a slippery floor or ice, but well, we're pretty sure that it was actually a stroke. So basically, they said that she had a recent one as well, and that probably contributed to her condition. Hey, the yellow key. So that must have been how I got it. Anyways, so I've only got 4 bits of health left. That's just taunting me right there. So, she had another stroke, and it contributed to her condition, and I'm gonna try and get in there. Yes. Shotgun shells. And shotguns. It's rather brutal here. We're advising all of our clients to put everything they've got into canned food and shotguns. Anyways, we're now looking into getting her moved into an assisted living facility. Hopefully something that's closer nearby, because she clearly does not want to live with her sisters, so we're thinking that we might get her in a facility that is somewhere in Texas so that her son Jason could be close by and live. It basically kind of check up on her every now and then, or even basically somewhere close to us so that maybe we could visit with her. So splattered. I actually kind of feel bad because, well, I've got my friends online, and recently they've all basically gone through some kind of tragedy that ended in a family member. Well, they ended at a funeral, okay? So I feel bad that basically, like, I'm going through this, and basically, like, I'm gonna tell them that my grandmother is alright, and they basically, like, well, they went through something similar, and their loved ones didn't turn out alright. I'm pretty sure that, like, with Chaos, his family member, uncle or grandfather, can't remember the details, I'm pretty sure he suffered a stroke and he didn't come back from it. Uh-oh. I don't think those are Hell Knights. That's the genuine article. That is a Baron. You can tell because his hands are now glowing red. Which is odd, considering that Barons were typically known for green projectiles in previous games, but let's face it, it's the least of this game. It's basically hardly a problem to basically change up something like that. Nah, I need something more powerful. I like this thing. It took like 2/3 of the ammo that I had for it, but I'll take it. Oh no, there's another one. That probably would have taken all of the ammo that I had for it. I really am wondering, like, I do want to experience this game for the first time, and I basically want to record my experiences, but basically with Doom, these games, they kind of get a bit repetitive. So I can recognize that probably doesn't make for, like, the most consistent Let's Play content if you basically play each one of the Doom games in a successive marathon, one after the other. So right now, I'm just basically wondering if I should basically, like, play through the game myself and then basically record when I get to significant story details, like finding the other demon keys, the artifacts. So, and I have no idea how I'm getting back to where I was before. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. Here we go. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the nightman. We are programmed to receive. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. My armor is gone. I hate these elevators. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of that scene from Gremlins 2, where basically Billy is working in his cubicle, and he's on the phone with his wife. Actually, I can't really remember her name. Anyway, basically, he's working in his cubicle when suddenly his light goes off, and she basically tells him over the phone that, like, you stayed still for too long, the building thinks you left, it's trying to save power, jump around a bit. So it's basically like, that's what it comes off as. Ugh. This is a damn tricky puzzle. I've only got about 13 minutes left. Damn. Ooh. Yay. That'll make it easier. Spectres, probably. If they were the nightmare imps, they would have shot at me by now. I'm telling you, these imps are different. They're like something out of a nightmare or something. That's either the blue key or some mega armor. Either way, I will take it. I really hope that I didn't just break that. There we go. Come back down. I hear roaring. Thanks for giving away your position, fellas. You probably could have ambushed me. They ambushed me. I jabbed with my right arm. I jabbed with my left arm. Then I swung with the right. What in blazes are you talking about? It's like I told you. The mangy monkeys carried him off. Dang it. Uh-oh. Looks like we got company. Come on, go up. You guys want to know one of the worst parts about trying to move out of your apartment is? Because basically, as soon as you start trying to move, they start implementing new policies that make living there suddenly a whole lot better, a lot more beneficial to you. Like, when I first moved into this joint, they wouldn't let you have pets. Which is a shame, because that meant that we had to leave one of our cats behind. Because, I mean, well, that cat basically had grew up in our old house its entire life, and it didn't really adjust all that well when we moved to a new house. It kept trying to go back to the old one. But in my mind, is that if you basically take a cat, like, I think more than friggin' 50 miles away from the area that it's most familiar with, it probably won't be able to find its way back. I mean, basically I live, like, more than 2 hours away from where I grew up, so there's no way that a cat could find its way that far, could it? So, I really wonder if that activates a switch, something over there. Well, it activated this, but how am I supposed to get the armor? Man, I really wish I had a better idea than this. Aha. Huh. Hidden staircase. Clever. Well, unless I use the teleporters, I can't get to the other side. Hopefully that switch opened up the one for the armor. Cannot believe that I overjumped to that. Alright, but I've got the blue key, and it's open. Weird. Usually when I pick up something this important, monsters would pop out. Oh well. I got the blue key, now I can go through the blue door. But this is just so frustrating. You know what I mean, guys? Because it's like, I basically, like, started out this episode intending to basically have near the full hour to play, like, through Doom. Maybe possibly get through 4 levels like I did last night. A little over an hour, but still. But basically, because these levels were tricky to figure out, it took me all this time and I only got through 2 levels, and I've only got, like, 5 minutes left, so I don't see that there's any real point in, like, continuing to go deeper in, because I won't get far before I have to stop. So, oh yes. Baby, come to daddy. Looks like that'll be something to look forward to when I get off of work, but I just basically hate the way time basically works, you know what I mean? Because basically, this hour went by like that. No problem. But when I'm going to be at work, every single hour is going to pass, but like, just is going to be the slowest thing ever. And yesterday was basically kind of like a real downer because we basically had the health inspector, and she was basically chewing out the new GM that we've got, who literally just got to the store. He wasn't responsible for our store in any way, shape, or form, and yet he's basically like getting friggin' hammered because of all the new policies that, quite frankly, he didn't know about. So, well, anyways, I'm gonna head back to the starting chamber and basically, like, save. Oh, if I can even find my way back. Isn't this ironic? I told myself that I wasn't gonna go deeper in. Well, anyways, I'm still at 100% health, and I'm doing well on ammo. Doing very well on ammo. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Show, like, and share with your friends. You want to keep up to date with more brutal Doom coming at you in the future, then be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next video. Later. Here's hoping that I have a good day at work.